And the start of week 5, 4? I'm not sure, but we got Great White versus Expert Lolli today. Great White's off with the disc to begin. Christian now with the disc. Puts it over to Justin. Justin looking. Can't find Frank in the corner. Puts it back to Christian in the middle. Christian puts it through the middle to Leanne. Leanne back to Christian. Now back to Justin. Justin over to Jessica for the score. And sorry about that, I was too busy focusing on the 45-second clock and I missed the pull there. Jake finds Brad. Brad surveying, and Frank comes up with the D on AT. Justin now taking the disc, taps it in. Dumps it to Leanne. Oh, and she just drops it. Lindsay over to Brad, bobbles it, but gets it. Brad with a good fake, and D'd up by Frank again. Christian to Justin. Justin puts it to Leanne. Leanne dumps it back to Justin. Brad playing good defense. And Justin puts up a little scoop over to Leanne. Oh, and AT almost getting it over to Frank now. Swagalicious. Back to Justin. Puts a scuba to Duska. Makes a nice split catch. And a little bit of discrepancy on if it hit the floor or not. And they say it doesn't. Brad almost gets the D there right through both of his big swinging arms. That's a tough thing to do. And Justin makes a great diving catch on it. Frank back to Justin now. Justin looking. Over to Leanne. Back to Justin. Justin puts it. Oh, an AT with the D. Good D by AT there. AT taps it in. Puts it up to Jake. Back to Lindsay now. Lindsay finds Brad. And Brad, an easy one, right back to Lindsay for the score. And did it again. Get the pull here. Justin picks it up and is surveying. Puts it to Saul. Saul looking for Duska. Finds her in the corner. Puts it through a floaty one, and Caleb snags it. Puts it back to Justin. Oh, and good defense by Lindsay to just tap that. Oh, and Justin called a foul on that. Dumps it to Leanne. Leanne back to Justin. And Justin puts it up to Leanne, but she is out. AT taps it in. Puts up a deep one to Jake, and he's open. Oh, and kind of waited for it to cradle it and bounced off him. He said he wanted the extra steps to try to get in the end zone, and unfortunately risked catching the disc. And Saul now with it. Puts it up to Justin, but Brad is right there. It's a tough pass to make up line, especially against Brad. Megan over to Jake. Megan now, or Jake puts it up to Lindsay. Oh, and AT makes a good move on Saul to get open for the score. 1. And I got the pull finally. Duska knocks it down. Justin looking for something. Puts it up to Saul. AT playing a good poach defense out there. Oh, and good catch by Duska. Or Leanne. It was Leanne over there. Sorry, I can't see on the small screen as well as I'd like to. AT still playing a good poach defense in the corner, not letting him get anything over there. And Justin faked the cameraman out there. Justin puts it up through to Saul. Saul, oh, puts it up and a good catch by Caleb past the diving Jake. Brad knocks it down. Quick one over to Jake. Puts it, nice one to AT. AT dumps it to Brad. Puts one up to Jake. Oh, and just can't jump quite high enough to get it. Good put, just a bit too high. Knocked down by Brad there. Over to AT. AT puts it up to Brad. Tipped, and Jake makes a great catch to save it. He puts it up to Lindsay, and she makes a great catch for the score. Justin catches the pull. Nice floating one by Brad. Oh, and good defense by Jake to catch up. Good closing speed to get the D there. Brad taps it in. Puts it over to Megan. Megan right back to Brad. Brad up to Lindsay. Back to Brad now. Back to Megan. Makes a good catch. Ooh, and was D'd right as it left her hand. It's clean. And Frank makes a good catch there. Hammer pull right to Brad. Jake surveying. Looking for Brad. Gives it to him. Puts it over to Megan, makes a good catch. Back to Brad now. Oh, and Brad sneaks it to AT. And then, oh, and Christian with good defense, it looked like. Christian now taps in and gives it to Justin. Justin looking. Gives it over to Leanne. Over to Christian again. Christian now back to Leanne. Looking for Justin. Brad is just a big body in the way there. Finds Justin on a good throw. Puts it back up to Leanne up line. And goes to try to find Christian, and he's in. And Jake grabs the hammer pull. Puts it up to AT. Makes a good catch. Over to Lindsay for the score. Oh, so far. Yeah, when it matters, right? right off the hands of AT. Oh, and just out of the reach of Justin. He finds a slippery area over there. Over to AT. Puts the hammer up to Brad and out of the reach of Justin for the score. Nice score to Justin. And AT makes a nice move to get open. Throws a rifle hammer to Jake. With a minute left to play here, Justin puts it over to Duska. Finds Trevor. And puts it up to Duska just out of reach. Not a bad little put, but just a tad out of reach. AT makes a nice cut to get open. Puts it up deep to Brad. Oh, and almost makes a nice catch. Okay, and they're choosing to bring it back in at 7 seconds since there was a foul. 7, 6, 5, 4. And Justin coming up with a huge lead. I'm pretty sure time was up. Tough one. Kind of a no look to Brad, and he wasn't ready for it. Justin puts a nice one past Brad's long arms. And past the outreach of Jake. Oh, and Brad with a great snatch. It was a gross snatch. Back a bit of a no look to Lindsay there. Over to Jake, makes a good catch, even though he's heavily defended. Puts it over the top to Brad. And Leanne comes through to clean up the defense on Brad. Close to being out there. Oh, and puts it behind Saul and just can't corral it in. Brad makes a nice one-handed snatch. Puts it up to Jake, and he is in for the... A good pull by Jake. Allows the defense to jog down and get set up. Oh, and right through Justin's hands. Gave himself a high five. Oh, and past Lindsay and Brad there. Right in between them. Just a bit too hard. Justin puts it back in. Makes a good throw to Trevor. Oh, and good D by Jake there. Picks it up quickly. Gives it to Brad. Oh, and a scuba and a great catch. Oh, and Brad with a hammer! Oh, and through Lindsay's hands. Just a little too far to Leanne. Brad makes a good catch over Justin. Oh, and Christian makes a great defensive play. And Brad makes another outstanding defensive play to knock that down. Two great defensive plays in a row. And puts it up deep to Jake in for a score. And Justin finally decided to switch to a 4-1 instead of a 3-2, since offense does choose. Seemed like as the beginning of the game he felt pretty confident, and as the game's going on now, he feels like he needs to put another guy in place of a girl. And Brad puts it to Lindsay, oh, just out of reach. And he was out. Oh, and called himself. And the pull is up. And Brad breaks our disc. Absolutely destroys Justin's disc. Justin is not very happy, but does make a great catch there. examining the new disc. Looks like it is in game shape, not deflated at all, and taps it in. Over to Lindsay. Pump fake. Pump fake. Now finally finds Brad. Looking for AT. Oh, and Trevor with a good closing speed gets the D there. Justin calling a play. Taps the disc in. Puts it up the line to Christian. And Christian puts it to Leanne, but she is out of bounds, and it's just a bit too far for her anyway. Was a good put and a good run, just a little off. Finds Lindsay. Lindsay looking for AT. AT makes a good move to get back to the disc. Puts a scrambler up. And Jake doesn't come up with it. He traps on the ground. Would have been an amazing catch, though. Christian. Back to Justin. Brad playing such good defense on Justin. Oh, and he throws a backdoor hammer. And he is just a bit too far. Great defense on the disc by Brad, not allowing him to throw anything at all up the line. Those big long arms and feet and body, just not allowing Justin any breathing room whatsoever. Throws it up deep to Jake. Oh, and misreads the disc a little bit. Oh. Yeah, and Jake makes the right call there. It needs to be tapped in there. If it does go out of bounds, tapped in. No breathing room at all for Justin. That does make a throw back door to Trevor. Over to Christian. And Justin is in there. Puts it over to Christian. Oh, and Brad just is in the way there and hits it into Brad. And finds an opening to Megan. Finds Jake. Throws it up to AT. Oh, and a one-handed snag. Cole, did they give you crit? Just past the end. Hey, did you give Red a score on that last one? Did you give Red a score on that last one? Yeah, good job. Good job.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, she has to throw it up because she was at stall 9, and luckily enough, somebody was there. Throws it up to Lindsay, but Christian is in the way there. Gives it over to Justin. Oh, and Brad with a great layout defense. Justin pump faked once, and just enough time for Brad to get there. Oh, and slices through AT and Brad. How much time, Frank? Caleb throws it away. Not much time left here in the game. About a minute and a half would be my guess. If Red scores, it would almost put the game away.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Puts it up deep to Jake, and both Jake and Saul misread it. Goes over their heads. 1 minute left to play now. Justin with the disc. And he is in to Leanne. Oh, and Red switching to a zone here. Oh no, and Justin drops it in the middle of the court. 20 seconds left. And that will finish the game. Expert Lolli beats White by 1.